Okay, so I know I'm a little late to the party on this. This video is going to upload just a little bit later, but it is super important for us to talk about what just happened at UFC 257, McGregor versus Poirier 2. This is their rematch. They initially fought back in 2014. Conor McGregor won first round TKO, if I'm not mistaken. But this time around, man, you're you're talking about an upset on the hands of Dustin Poirier. Goodness gracious! Every betting site, everything that I saw had Conor McGregor as a heavy favorite, and Poirier, I mean, he hung in there. He got it done. I mean, that's all you can really say. The fight itself, round opens up first round. McGregor gets Poirier in this clinch. They trade a little bit first, but McGregor eventually gets him in this clinch, man, and it's very, very reminiscent of what he did to Cowboy in that Cerrone fight that they had last year. He gets him in this kind of like tie clinch, and he starts throwing the shoulders just like directly into the nose of Dustin Poirier to great effect too. It looked like it stunned Dustin from what I saw anyway. And later in the round, Dustin gets a takedown on Conor. Conor kind of scrambles a little bit. I was worried it was going to be kind of like that Khabib fight where it was McGregor got just stuck up on the fence and couldn't move for a little bit, but he eventually wiggled his way out, so that was good. And late in the first round, just before the round ended, McGregor stunned Poirier pretty well with 1-2, it looked like, if I remember correctly. And Poirier hung in there, man. I mean, you could see he got wobbled, but I guess he covered up well. McGregor wasn't able to get enough punches in, and then the round ended. So he was lived to see another round, But the second round, completely different story. McGregor gets out there, and all throughout the fight, he's been really flat-footed. And Poirier, rather, he starts hitting these leg kicks on him. He's been landing these leg kicks all throughout the fight, and just takes that mobility away from Conor McGregor. And wow, you have to see it, man, to just see how effective these leg kicks were. You got to give Poirier and his trainers credit, man, because that was an excellent game plan coming into the fight with McGregor. And it worked to great effect, right? Because McGregor eventually gets hit by one of these leg kicks. He opens up, and then that's how Poirier lands his winning combination. He gets Conor up against the fence. Conor's real stunned. He's doing that bullshit, where he has his hands down, trying to like move his head, get his head out of the way. Like a lot of the MMA fighters now do, that's how the majority of people get caught. They're not keeping their hands up. But regardless, Poirier hits him and gets him on the ground, then it's over, which was just so bizarre. Many MMA fans, myself included, have just held Conor McGregor as like the next tier of like just the stand-up game. How Khabib is with wrestling, Conor is with stand-up. That's how I thought for the longest time. But wow, has that perception just been completely shattered by Dustin Poirier, man. Incredible effort on his part. That was just super, super effective game plan, And, Conor coming into the fight, he had this really nice, happy demeanor, which was really bizarre because I feel that in the first fight, one of the reasons he won was because he got Dustin Poirier so pissed off before the fight that Poirier just came out, saw red, and wasn't fighting effectively, And I figured that he would have tried to do that again, but no, it was completely different. Humble Conor is just really, really bizarre to see. Something just complete contrast of character. And I don't know if he's playing like an angle or something, or like if he's trying to redeem himself or what's going on. But it's just a complete different Conor McGregor than we're used to, And, leading up, I've heard some rumors leading up to the fight that Conor McGregor got like a different coach, or not coach. He got different training camp, different like sparring partners and stuff. He's working more with boxing coaches than he is with MMA and kickboxing coaches, which is really bizarre. And I feel like you saw that in the fight because he came out. He wasn't that bouncy, like light-footed Conor McGregor that would move so effortlessly around the ring. He looked heavy, flat-footed, like a conventional like boxer's stance, which was just bizarre. I don't know who gave the okay for him to get those trainers and start fighting that way, but I don't see why he would. I mean, that was what made Conor McGregor so effective and efficient as a fighter, was that light movement, that he can move in and out with such explosiveness that was just unparalleled to anybody else. But wow, yeah, going forward, I don't know what to expect from anyone. I guess there is a possibility to run it back, but man, that doesn't seem like the fight to make. Poirier just seemed to manhandle McGregor in that second round. And if it didn't end then, it was going to end, because, McGregor would have gassed out eventually, and then it would have been a whole different mauling. But I say you make Poirier and Oliveira. That would be a fight to make, or you give Poirier a shot at the championship. I think Khabib is still the champion right now. I don't imagine he's going to come back. He's retired. He released like a statement saying to like Dana, this does not interest me. I've already beat both these guys. I feel like he would have come back if Conor like did something crazy. But seeing as Poirier beat Conor fairly easily, I don't think that's going to happen. So Khabib fans, if you're waiting for him to come back, I mean, you're going to need a Hail Mary, man. You're going to need like GSP coming back, or like some newcomer just absolutely come up and murk everybody. But both of those seem very, very doubtful right now. For Conor, I'm not sure what you'd want to do with him if I was Dana White. I feel like that perception of just invincibility that a lot of people had for Conor has been shattered. If it wasn't already shattered from the Khabib fight or the Nate Diaz fight, most certainly is now. He's been beaten at stand-up, like at his own game. So I don't know what you do with McGregor. Maybe if you're able to get Nate Diaz, you bring him back and run it back with him. But I don't know how interested Nate Diaz is in the UFC right now. He's very problematic, I guess would be the word, when it comes to trying to schedule him for a fight. So I guess it'll just be a wait and see with McGregor. I hope they get some more fights in. I don't want to see him do some boxing bullshit with Jake Paul or anything like that. I hope he stays in the UFC, gets a few more like MMA fights in this year. But McGregor being McGregor, I don't know what to expect. He needs to get a win. I know that much. That Cerrone fight did very little to kind of aid his legacy, and I feel like that's what he's trying to cement right now. So I guess we'll see. It's going to be a wait and see. That was a very bad loss for McGregor, though. He seems just like a different person entirely. He's not that hungry fighter, that young guy that would come in and just like absolutely demolish everybody in the division. He seems just like another fighter now, which is just odd to say.